Who's having some drinks tonight? Alright. I always like to start out my set with a little piece of advice: don't drink and drive. Alright? If you're gonna drink and drive, carry a big stack of newspapers in the back seat of your car. That way, if you see a cop, you just start throwing them at houses. Then fuck you, man, I'm working. I'm supposed to be on this side of the road. The key is you gotta be in a neighborhood. If you're on the interstate, they'll tack littering on that shit. They probably weren't gonna pull me over until I started throwing newspapers at them. It happens. It happens. I live in Port Collins, and I've come to the conclusion that there's a lot of bicyclists in Port Collins, and there's two distinct types. Because there's the Lance Armstrong motherfuckers that think it's good for the environment and their health and all that bullshit. And there's those of us who've had a DUI. You can tell the difference between the two because the former is wearing a really nice suit, riding a BMX bike that's entirely too small for me, and passing up Lance Armstrong going, "Fuck you! Real men ride fixed gears, shipments for pussies!" But you end up late a lot of places when you ride the bike everywhere. You gotta have a good excuse, and I got a built-in excuse. I love it. Anytime I show up late someplace, I walk in and I say, "I'm sorry I was late. I was twisting my stash." Because you're not quite sure. Was he getting his mustache ready or was he rolling a joint? Surprise, surprise, you're both right. I do want to let you know right now from the beginning, I'll be your host tonight. I have a medical condition. You'll see it going throughout my jokes and hosting and whatnot, but I actually suffer from pot-term memory loss. All right. We're going to get along just fine. If you're not familiar with pot-term memory loss, that's when you get about halfway through your prostate and realize, "Oh, fuck. I never took the plastic off of this spoon." Happens to the best of us. Oh. Amendment 64 passed in Colorado. We're legal. We're legal. Yes, Jim, that's a good thing to shoot for. It's fantastic. We finally got off our lazy stoner asses and remembered to make that plant legal. You have any idea how many Post-it notes that took? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Welcome. All right. But you're in an alcoholic establishment. Hold on a second. I end up cotton in my mouth to make a sweater. You're in an alcoholic establishment, so buy drinks, support the establishment, keep the lights on and whatnot, but I think the marijuana is just better than alcohol. Yeah. There's just so many reasons, right? I mean, drunk drivers run over people. Stone drivers run out of gas. I wrote that joke on the side of the highway. And everybody's heard the mean drunk dad stories, right? I mean, everybody's heard those. We don't need stories like that in the world. We need stories like, "Man, my dad used to come home from work so pissed off. He'd do some bong rips, and we'd play Candyland all night. He'd get paranoid, and we'd make the best forts ever." And the new tag worked. My daughter, when she was 4 years old, she caught me rolling a joint. She goes, "What are you doing, Daddy?" I said, "Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I'm just getting my medicine ready," without missing a beat. She says, "Are all of your friends sick?" Well, yes, sweetheart. That's kind of why we're friends. Tried with my older nephew. He said, "What are you doing, Unc?" I said, "I'm getting my meds ready." He said, "I don't feel so good." Kids are getting smarter all the time. They're always getting smarter. I was reading a Christmas story to my kids. It was the night before Christmas. And we got to the part at the end where, Santa's held him tight in his teeth and smoking and circles his head like a wreath. My son looks up at me and goes, "Just like you, Daddy. We should leave him some of your green cookies." Is that terrible? I get the feeling that that's kind of terrible. That's all right. I don't mind. But now I forgot what the next joke I was going to tell. See, I should have told you earlier, I have a medical condition. I actually suffer from pot-term memory loss. Some of you have heard of it. If you're not familiar with it, I'll give you an example. That's why when you wake up and your pipe and your lighter are in your lap and you're like, "Well, all right, cool. I'm on the bus." I get to kick the fuck off about a transfer quick. I like hot chicks that drive piece of shit cars. Because I know I can afford to buy you dinner. You carry full coverage insurance, you're not for me, but if you got rusted out fenders, how you doing? It's important to think about these things when you're in the income tax bracket I am. Technically, the IRS considers me chicken McNugget rich. This means we don't have to order off the dollar menu, but we probably should. This is my job. A lot of guys, you get to the end of the dates, and you're taking her out and everything, and a lot of guys, you think you should expect something, right? And a lot of ladies, you disagree, right? But I gotta tell you, ladies, you're wrong. I mean, you don't have sex, that's fine. Show up on Saturday and help paint the fucking shed, or mow the yard, or something. I mean, Jesus Christ, you had a fish fillet sandwich and a 20-piece chicken nugget. That's a McSurf and turf. I should get something. I think the whole dating game, though, the whole hookup thing, I think, it's a lot like playing a video game, because if you're playing as a gay man, it's like playing on level super easy, because you can get laid anywhere. The bar, Craigslist, JCPenney's men's room, any place. But if you go out to a lady and say, I'm going after, it's more like playing on God mode. I mean, you ever try to find a bisexual infomaniac that likes kids, loves camping, is okay with no marriage, supports yourself, and isn't fucking crazy? I mean, it's a tall order, but they're out there. But, I mean, it's more, what I'm saying is it's like playing Doom on God mode. It's not easy. It's not, but it's really like playing Mortal Kombat. It's the most game that it's really like. Because what do? You show up at the bar, you see the woman that you like, and you turn into Scorpion. You're like, get over here! Just wait, ladies. You're gonna love this. Because, guys, once you finally get her there, you gotta have some game, and you gotta please your ladies, guys. And I'm gonna break it down for you guys right now how to please any woman that you're ever with, ever again. Right now, because going down on your woman is exactly like playing Mortal Kombat. That right there is my favorite part of this joke, the look on every woman's face when I say that line. But it's true. But the key, guys, is you have to listen to your woman. Because you used to play Mortal Kombat, right? What'd you do? You try a bunch of moves. When you had a bunch of good moves, you put them in a combination, you get a fatality, right? It's the exact same thing. You just gotta listen to your woman. You try out a move, and if she says, that's a good move. Keep that move. If you try out a move and she says, oh, it's on Netflix. That's a bad move. You don't use that move anymore. And then when you got a whole bunch of good moves, you put them all together in a combination. It's just like up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right, all while humming your ABCs. And she'll pop out like a demon. Finish me. Orgasmic fatality. If you were too young to get that joke, eating pussy's a lot like playing Angry Birds. Simply a matter of figuring out what angle to shoot what bird at the appropriate time. And pray to God you don't impregnate a pig. Hey, I'm Captain Jsin. I'll be your host tonight. We've got a hell of a show for you, right?